From the edge of Music City, live from Liberty Hall in the historic factory in Franklin, Music City Roots is on the air. Welcome to everyone here in Liberty Hall and out there listening or watching us live. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Yeah. Oh, we got to live the crowd tonight here, Jim. As always, we've got a special mix of musical styles lined up for you. But a couple of days ago, it became extra special. More about that later. Right now, it's time for a song from a man who is a song. His essence is a song. He had to build an oversized mantle to hold all his gold records and Grammy Awards. Please welcome our musical host, Jim Lauderdale.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I met you in the middle of a hurricane. Our feet were barely touching on the ground. You taught me how to rise above the unexplained, the least of which was more than profound. I told my baby, listen, they can't trade your place with anybody for the one inside. We're always so connected more than anything. It all adds up to signify life by numbers. You and me, keep your thunder right where my lightning's gonna be. I always wondered how far was infinity, and now I see it flashing through your eyes. I heard a little voice that said we're almost free, but that you come as no big surprise. Now, life by numbers won't lie down. Keep your thunder, don't trade it for the easy way out. Oh, your name puts some rhythm to the game, keeps on humming through the house. Love when fair makes it more than okay. I'd like to explain, but here comes the solo. Na 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 na. They'll ask y'all to play She Thinks I Still Care. It's time to bring the singer on down. They're trying to tell you, listen, once you've been back there, you better learn to get yourself out. Look out now. Life by numbers, you and me. Keep your thunder right where my lightning's gonna be. Life by numbers won't lie down. Keep your thunder. Let's take our shoes off and walk down to the water now. Na 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 na. Thanks so much, everybody, and welcome to Music City Roots. We're so glad y'all could be with us tonight. And I want to thank our radio announcer, the voice of Nashville for over 40 years and getting inducted into the Tennessee Radio Broadcasters Hall of Fame in May.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wanted to brag on you a little bit. Mr. Keith Bilberry.
Thank you, thank you, and thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I worked pretty hard lobbying to get you into that.
I still owe you some money for your expenses.
And and to my right in the Griffin Technology chat room, sitting in the interview guy chair this week, say hey to music writer and historian Larry Nager.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. I'm hoping for a place in the substitute co-host Hall of Fame here in Tennessee, but I might have a few years to work on it. I want to remind everybody, and we have a beautiful crowd tonight. This is great to look out here. It's just about a sellout, it looks like to me. And we've got a great group of folks. We're going out live on Hippie Radio. That's Nashville's Peace, Love, and Rock and Roll and Electric Nanner Puddin' station, as a matter of fact. And that's at 94.5 on your FM dial. And we hope you're keeping up with Season 2 of Music City Roots, which is now playing on public TV. Check your local listings. It's airing here locally in the Nashville area on NPT Channel 8. Can we give it up for NPT Channel 8? I want to say hi. We have a great bunch of PBS programmers out in the audience tonight, and we've got a heck of a show for you. We want to welcome you. And here now is a gentleman, Justin Harvey. He's the director of content for NPT, and he's here to make all of us men feel guilty about not working out more. Give it up for Justin Harvey.
Thank you, Larry. I'm so happy to be here. You know, when I first started working in content at NPT, every month, without fail, I would get a call from somebody saying, you know, Austin City Limits is an amazing show, and we need something like that here in Nashville to showcase all of the incredible music that is coming out of Nashville. And every once in a while, someone would come to me with a concept for doing a show like this, and I didn't think they could do it. And the first time that someone came to me with a concept for a show was Mr. Todd Mayo and John Walker, the producers of this fantastic program. And when they talked to me, I knew that they could do it. I knew that they would put together an incredible show, and they have. And we've been so proud to partner with them to help to bring Music City Roots to all of the public television affiliates across the entire country, to make it available for them to get this music made available to all of the public television audiences that we possibly can. It's spread like crazy. Stations out there appreciate what we're doing. And as Larry said, we do have some folks from PBS and from many of the PBS affiliates around here who are visiting this evening, who are with us. And a lot of the reason that they're here, they're doing regional meetings all around the country, and part of the reason that they're in Nashville is because Nashville is so amazing right now, and it's amazing in part because of shows like Music City Roots and because of audiences like you who come out and support it. So thank you all very much for helping to make this possible.
Right. Justin Harvey, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got some other thank yous. We want to thank Sound Image for the great sound every single week. We want to thank Real Water for keeping us hydrated. We want to thank Soulshine Pizza that feeds us in the afternoon. And we want to thank the folks at riding the Blackstone bus from Soulshine. And thank the Blackstone folks as well. As you get entertainment, you get food. It's an amazing ride, I've been hearing. And speaking of food, we want to thank Michael King and the folks from the legendary Monell's, putting the South in your mouth. They've got baked chicken. They've got some amazing pudding, I think, that will give you a sugar rush for the next 6 hours, I'm hoping. And it's available for your purchase right over there. But meanwhile, there's a reason we're here right now. And that is the music tonight. I want to tell you what you're going to be seeing. We've got the great Atlanta rock band, Drivin and Cryin, with us. We've got Hot Rize, legendary bluegrass band reunited for their major tour and a new album. We've got Asleep at the Wheel, 9-time Grammy-winning band, and they'll probably win another one for the record they brought with them tonight. And they also have the granddaughter of Johnny Gimbel, great Texas fiddle player. She's a great singer, piano player. We have a wonderful emerging artist I'm really excited to hear. That's Daphne and the Mystery Machines are with us. And right now, we've got something very special that Jim's going to tell you about.
Well, our first artists tonight are no strangers to the Music City Roots stage. They're stars of the Grammy-winning 2005 collection, Night Train to Nashville. They owned the stage as part of last year's special Night Train to Nashville show, and we're thrilled to have them back with the great band featuring their producer and songwriter, the legendary Mac Gaden, who helmed their new CD, Old School New. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always Valentine's Day. Here's the Valentines.
without you. Girl, I'm so happy. One that got away, finally here to stay. You're my reason to believe this will last forever. One that got away, there's nothing else to say. 'Cause I've got you and you got me. We'll make love forever. I thought I'd lost you, been away so long. Won't you forgive me? Bygone, be bygone. Now you're here and I can finally see you are my true destiny. One that got away is finally here to stay. You're my reason to believe this will last forever. One that's got away, there's nothing left to say. 'Cause I've got you and you got me. We'll make love forever. And if the teardrops fall, I'll just hold you in my arms. And we won't care at all. We'll laugh about the weather. At least we'll be together. One that got away is finally here to stay. You're my reason to believe this will last forever. One that's got away, there's nothing left to say. 'Cause I've got you and you got me. We'll make love forever. So much love to give you now. Girl, I've got so much love to give you now. I've got so much love to give you now. Girl, I've got so much love to give you now. We'll make love forever. Thank you so much. Tonight we're doing the new songs from the CD. A few of those songs written by Mr. Mac Gayden. Give Mac a round of applause. And give this great band a round of applause. These guys are magnificent. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Little song that goes like this. Mac wrote this little song for us, and we want to do it for you tonight. Sunny day, I was mystified, touching you with eyes, but you were a part of someone else's dream. Thought of you now and then, never thought I'd see you again. I turned around and you were waiting in the wings. On a summer night, big moon was shining, standing in the light. You were so beautiful, held you in my arms, much more than want y'all to listen to the words of this song here. Love can fly away sometimes, make you almost lose your mind. It takes some time for two broken hearts to mend. I tried to release your memory, tell myself it's just a fantasy, but I circle back to where it all began. On a summer night, big moon was shining, standing in the light. You were so beautiful. Held you in my arms, much more than magical. Lady, you and me on a summer night. If I could have held you, held on to us, why am I staring up at the full moonlight beneath the midnight sky, wondering where you are, lady? Girl, I'm wondering where you are, yeah. On a summer night, big moon was shining, standing in the light. Girl, you were so beautiful. Held you in my arms, much more than magical. Lady, you and me on a summer night. Right now I feel alright, standing in the light, moonlight in my eyes, on a summer night. Whoa, whoa. Right now I feel alright, standing in the light, moonlight in my eyes, on a summer night. Lady, lady. Right now I feel alright, standing in the light, moonlight in my eyes, on a summer night. Lady, lady, lady. Right now I feel alright, standing in the light, moonlight in my eyes, on a summer night. When you get this old, you have to drink a little water. Yeah. All right. I think I'm ready. This ballad was written by Mac Gaten in the 60s. I see a vision in my eyes. Where are you? Oh, I wonder. I see me, a helpless guy, without you. Oh, I'm not alive.
Baby, there must be some way to climb the stairs back to your heart. And maybe if you had only stayed, my head wouldn't be spinning, falling to my ending, and I'm down for the count.
1, 2, 3. Down for the count. Look at me. Oh, down for the count. Can't you see? I'm down on my knees. There's a world of you inside me. Girl, it lives. It always will. Written across the sky in rainbow colors. I love you. Girl, I love you. I love you still.
Baby, there must be some way to climb the stairs back to your heart. And maybe if you had only stayed,
You had only stayed.
my head wouldn't be spinning,
Spinning, spinning.
falling to my ending. And I'm down for the count.
1, 2, 3. Down for the count. Look at me. Oh, down for the count. Can't you see? I'm down on my
Down for the count. I've had enough. Oh, baby.
I've had all I can stand, baby.
Down for the count.
I just can't stand no more. It's a love TKO. It's a love TKO. I'm gonna leave. I just can't stand no more. Said I'm down. Said I'm down. Said I'm down. Love TKO. The love TKO. I've had enough, baby. I've had enough, baby. Oh, baby. Said I've had all I can stand. Down for the count. Oh, baby. Wait a minute. I got to hit this right here. Down for the count. You know, I'm not going to talk with a minute because they say, well, you ain't got a minute. But I want to tell y'all this. You know, when we come and play and sing for people that enjoy the old music and, you know, bees and all that kind of stuff in this music, man, ain't it nice? Isn't it nice to go back and remember, I've got sunshine. Isn't that nice to remember all these old songs that, if unlike me, if you're still with your main squeeze from back then, I couldn't last that long. But if you still, you know, it brings back all these memories of the 60s and 50s and 60s and this good music. I don't know what's happening to music today. But hey, we enjoy you all. We are so happy that you enjoy this music. Another Matt Gaten song. I remember this feeling, something that I've known before. Like the fog from a misty rain, like the stormy waves on some distant shore. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Am I just gonna walk away once more? Got this feeling something's coming round. Cause I've got to be right here where it's down. Never thought I'd feel this way again. There's no doubt about it. Just wanna shout about it. Love that one with all my heart to stand. This time I got to mean it. Yes, this time I got to bring it. It all seems so new to me now. Sound of a voice heaven sent. She embraces me with her eyes. At first I thought it was all heaven sent. I can't believe I'm seeing me in some place I've never ever been. Never been. Hardest thing is to let it go. Sometimes the doubt want to steal the show. Never thought I'd feel this way again. There's no doubt about it. Just wanna shout about it. Never thought my heart would ever win. This time I got to be it. Just this time I got to bring it. Been looking back, been thinking what went wrong. Then I heard that sweet redemption song. Gotta make a stand. Stand up on your own. Gotta keep moving on. Never thought I'd feel this way again. There's no doubt about it. Just wanna shout about it. Thought that once was all my heart could stand. This time I got to mean it. Yes, this time I got to bring it. Never thought I'd feel this way again. There's no doubt about it. Just wanna shout about it. Thought that once was all my heart could stand. This time I got to mean it. Yes, this time I got to bring it. If you listen to nothing else tonight, listen to the lyrics of these songs that Mac Gayton has written, and I'm gonna tell you it will knock you for a loop. We're gonna reach back into the early 60s, late 50s. Early 50s? Charles ought to know he was here then. And we're going to do this little song that goes a little something like this. And a quick story, this is a song that Mac listened to when he was overseas in the early days and he got a little lonely. I held you tight, been so long, since I kissed you the night, the blues of mine, been so long.
So long.
Y'all give him a hand on that back on that piano. He's on the piano. Been so long, been so long. My hours seem like years, seem like years. Been so long, been so long. I shed those precious tears, the blues of mine. I never, ever thought I'd feel like this before. I need your arm, the warmth of your sweet kiss. Oh, been so long, been so long. I need you oh so bad, oh so bad. Been so long, been so long. My heart is so sad, the blues of mine. Been so long, been so long, been so long, yeah. Been so long, been so long, been so long, been so long, yeah. Been so long. Ooh, yeah. Been so long. Been so long. Yeah.
Let's give that little baby a big hand, too. That's the next star. Anyone with the name of Amanda out there? Anyone with the name Amanda? Anybody name Amanda out there?
Amanda Lee. Anybody got a name? Amanda Lee.
Your name Amanda? Oh, Diane.
Your name Diane Lee.
I'm gonna tell Mac to get you.
When you're coming back around, hey baby, can't you see there's something that we both found? Whoa, Mandalee, I can tell when your eyes are blinking. Times you know every word I'm thinking. You take the words right off of the tip of my tongue. Yeah, yeah. Together we got so much in common. To me it's like some kind of phenomenon. Could it be you're the only one and I'm done? Oh yeah. Amanda Lee, when you gonna stay the night? Hey baby, never see something that feels so right. Whoa Amanda Lee, whoa Amanda Lee. I've never known this kind of love before. Since the day you walked right in through my door, you were shy and kind of mysterious. Oh yeah. Together we were so mesmerizing. There was no way that we were faking it. We vowed not to get serious. Oh no. Can't you see something that we both found? Oh, Manderly, listen. Night air so cool up on the roof, missing you, Manderly. Yeah. Not for sure, but I think we're on the brink of something new. We could talk on the phone all night, but we're still alone. Whoa, Manderly, whoa. Whoa, 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 Manderly. When you're gonna stay the night? Hey baby, I've never seen something that feels so right. Whoa, Manderly, Manderly, when you're coming back around? Hey baby, can't you see there's something that we both found? Whoa, Manderly, whoa, Manderly.
The Valentines. Let's give a big hand to Matt Gaden and this great band, too.
Yeah!
The Valentines, everybody. Thank y'all so much. Matt, it's an honor to have you here. Ah, Keith, now that's how it's done.
That is it.
That is how it's done. Hey, we've got a couple of, it's Ashley Core's birthday. Ashley Core's, I think she's here someplace. Let's give her a big hand.
Yeah.
There
Happy
she is,
birthday.
over there. And it's Music City Roots' own Laurie Dashper's birthday also.
Yes, it is.
Let's hear it for them. Congratulations.
Shall we say what birthday it is?
Well, it's their, I don't know exactly. But I'll tell you what, Keith, I'd like to celebrate, in celebration of that birthday, I'd like to make a toast. This is from the great Monell's Restaurant, which we have right over there, and they just do such a incredibly delicious job.
You know, we got a lot of VIPs in the audience tonight, and like all the PBS people are
That's
here.
right.
So
Well,
you're not going to do that thing.
Cheers, Keith.
Oh, yes.
Keith Bilbrey, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen. Let's hear
yeah.
it
Give me a
for
mouthful of that and have a read a commercial. We made a mess back here on my carpet. Well, folks, if you enjoy our show, you have to know it's made possible by our sponsors, of course. And right now, we'd like to tell you about our friends from Forster's Diamond Outlet. Bob, if I got any pudding on the... Okay, thank you. The only place in Nashville where you can see the amazing Star 129 Diamond. The Forsters are now in their 3rd generation and 34th year. Small enough to serve the Nashville community, large enough to have an impact on the worldwide diamond market. Stop by the store in Hickory Hollow or take a look at diamondoutlet.com to find out what that's all about. And from there, you can click on over to star129.com and learn more about the patented process that makes the Star 129 visibly brighter than ordinary diamonds. And those of you listening around the country can find a Star 129 dealer near you. And now those of you here in the live audience have a bit of unfair advantage, because to qualify for the special Diamond Outlet Friends and Family program, all you have to do is come shake this guy's hand. Bob Forster, raise your hand. Shake his hand. He needs your support. He's running for something. I don't know what it is. Big thanks to Bob Forster for all your support here at Music City Roots. Now it's time to go back over to Larry in the chat room, sponsored by Griffin Technology, making it easier to connect to the music you love. Larry, how about some banana pudding?
I would love some banana pudding, as a matter of fact, there. But you guys keep it all for yourself, it seems like. So just leave it on the lectern. But we're lucky tonight because we've got some gentlemen from Drivin and Cryin all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. Give it up for them.
Thank you kindly.
And it's great to have you. Now, you've played the place before, Mr. Kinney, Kevin Kinney.
Drivin and Cryin played Loveless, and then I played here solo about, about 20 degrees out, or 17 degrees outside, so.
But this is the first time for Drivin and Cryin in our new venue here.
In the factory area, yeah.
And you've brought your rhythm section along, I see.
This is Dave Johnson and Tim Nielsen.
All right, good
We've
deal.
been traveling together for 30 years, so. Woo!
And a lot of your traveling's been back and forth on I-40 making some records the last few years, right? Now, you guys had a dry spell there, as it were, the end of last century to about 2009. And then you started recording again. You made a real interesting project with your with this EP collection you were doing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we did one rock opera back about 6 years ago, and then we started making EPs. We made a record, a 5-song record, every 90 days, and we sold them for $5 at the merchandise booth. And so we did 4 of those, and 5 actually, because I did a folk one too. And then we took the best of the 4, and we're releasing them on a vinyl only on Plowboy Records, the Nashville label, Plowboy Records.
Plowboy Records, yeah.
Got to name drop them. And so it's out on vinyl on an album now, so coming out next month.
And this was just kind of, after having so many years without a recording, and that the rock opera you mentioned, the Great American Bubble Factory, I believe
right,
the name
yeah.
was, and that took about... Actually, you were going to start that years and years ago.
Yeah.
So the EPs are almost sort of a reaction. You wanted something more instantaneous, more immediate, to where you make the music and you get the music out, right?
That was part of it, but it was also deconstructing Drivin and Cryin, because you don't really know what genre we're in. Because we play country, we play rock and roll, we play psychedelic music, we play heavy metal, we play '60s heavy metal, all sorts of stuff. So we wanted one record to be what we call the kudzu circuit, REM era, and then one called Songs from a Laundromat, and then one called Songs About Cars, Space and Ramones, our punk rock era, and a psychedelic one, and then one Who We Are Now. Right, Tim?
That's right.
He never leaves home without his rhythm
I would not be
section.
good on the Mike Douglas show.
But now you're working with Paul Ebersol, a great producer.
Yes.
At Arden Studios in Memphis, and legendary studio there. REM cut there, Replacements, and of course Big Star.
Yeah.
And then also Sound Kitchen here in Nashville. Right?
We did a lot of it, 2 of them at Sound Kitchen, yeah.
All right. Well, good deal. And this will be an LP, and that's available in May, I think it is. You're not getting it for Record Store Day or anything.
It's coming out in Europe first.
Europe?
And then we've got some that we're going to have to sell at shows, but the official release, I think, is May.
So if Colin McGee goes back to
12th.
Ireland, he'll be able to get your
Yes.
copy.
Absolutely.
Very good. And speaking of long form objects, you guys have a brand new movie out, basically DVD, Scarred but Smarter: Life and Times of Drivin and Cryin, directed by the great Eric Van Hassler.
Yeah, we're real proud of it. It's we're a friend of ours it's spent a lot of time and a lot of money doing the story of Drivin' and Cryin', basically, and the ups and downs of the world of Drivin' and Cryin'.
Well, good deal.
And we have starting another chapter for this year. We got Warner Hodges from Jason and the Scorchers is our guitar player
I think
this
a
year.
lot of folks are excited. Warner E. Hodges
Warner will
from
be here with us
Jason
tonight
and the Scorchers
on the
playing lead
stage.
guitar.
Spurs and all.
They will rock you tonight, I guess. There, very cool. So there's and you guys are actually out for a full year now. You're going to be hitting the road hard, right? Drivin' and Cryin' never really went away, but you guys are back with a vengeance at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are. We're very excited. We're 30 years of this. It just gets easier. I think. I think it gets easier.
So, and are your live shows like you're only playing? Unfortunately, you're playing kind of an abbreviated 25-minute set here tonight. But if one was to see you at a club where you're doing like a full show, is that all the many personalities, the full schizophrenia that is Drivin' and Cryin'?
It is a retrospective of our career.
So do you strip it down? Do you do a solo thing, kind of thing?
Yes, always a couple solo songs. We'll do that. We'll kind of do that tonight a little bit. We'll have a folk interlude tonight as well.
So what do you listen to? I guess is you play so many different kinds of music. What do you guys listen to entertain yourselves? I know you're big Blackberry Smoke fans.
Chuck Prophet.
Tim's a Chuck Prophet fan.
Tim Knoll.
From Amsterdam. I go out as much as I can every night of the week, and I have a new favorite band. And then I go out Wednesday. I go, oh no, they're my new favorite band, and so I can't remember. Dead Heaven was the last one I heard from New York. Very great band.
Since we don't,
what was the name of that band? Sisto, the band from Charleston.
Did you like them?
Yeah, what were they called?
Sisto?
I don't know. He doesn't even know. I thought he was managing them. Forget it.
And one more question: since this does go out on the World Wide Web. Where are you guys going to be that people can see in the next few days or so? Next few weeks, we're going to be in Birmingham tomorrow. We're going to be in Memphis. We'll be in Meridian, Mississippi. We'll be in Sheffield, England, London, England, Newcastle, and Manchester. Any Irish dates on this?
No, we're going to Holland instead. We'll be playing in Groningen and Amsterdam and Hoorn.
Very nice.
Anybody in Amsterdam next year or next month, we'll be there.
All right, and you got a nice set planned for us tonight. You're going to close this out.
I have no idea what we're doing yet.
All right,
we don't ever know till we look out.
It's always a surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Kinney, Drivin' and Cryin'.
Thank you, brother.
And now, the spiciest girl in town, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for our own Chili Philly, and with her, Mark Levy.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Hey everybody, it's already been an amazing night here at Music City Roots, but now it's time for a word from our fine sponsor, Vietti Chili. You can get a spicy or chili mac. Beans or without, it's got your back. A Nashville chili just your way. Since 1898. Ooh, Vietti chili. Ooh, Vietti chili. A perfect meal for you. A perfect meal for me. With Vietti, we never disagree. There's no other that compares. With taste so good it's hard to share. It's dinner time, don't scream and shout. 'Cause Vietti chili's what it's all about. Ooh, Vietti chili. Ooh, Vietti chili. A perfect meal for you, a perfect meal for me. With Vietti, we never disagree. With Vietti, we never disagree. Thank you guys so much. And now let's get back to the show with Mr. Jim Lauderdale.
Well, thank you. I think we'll all agree that Allie Sutton is terrific, isn't she, everybody? Allie Sutton, let's hear it for her. Our emerging artists tonight are a brand new Nashville band made up of some roots rocking veterans. Once you hear them, there'll be no mystery why we booked them. Fronted by singer-songwriters Daphne Culver and Jen Parker, welcome Daphne and the Mystery Machines.
Hey everybody, we're Daphne and the Mystery Machines. This first song is called Easier. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all those nights you thought I was sleeping in a bed full of secrets I've been keeping, and the makeup covering the holes in my arms. I guess that I thought they kept you from harm, and the bottle in the kitchen kept you from itching. And I pump it up you. I pump it up you full of lies. Because it was easier. Easier. Easier than making you cry. And all the nights I thought you were sleeping, but the truth is the truth. You couldn't get a wink in, 'cause the needle in my arm is breaking your heart. And I never seem to listen, 'cause I'd just rather be drinking. Or pump it up in you. I pump it up in you full of lies. Because it was easier. Easier. Easier than making you cry. And all the nights you thought we could make it, but you had no idea how far I could take it. Until you found me lying on the bathroom floor. You flushed it all down. I still needed more. I needed more. Because it was easier than making me feel like I'm going to die. It was easier than making me break down. Easier than making me feel like I'm going to die. It was easier than making you cry. Thank you guys. This next song is called Killing Me Smalls. love is not about what anybody thinks, and our love is not seen. It's best time over drinks, but we part them, we apart them, and we start them some more, and we part them anyways. And it's not about what my mama thinks, but it sure does how, and definitely that she likes you. She likes you. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls, in a really big way. And I get the kisses and I get the touch. Try to go home at night, say enough is enough, but it ain't anymore. 'Cause I want you so bad. And I get the kisses and I get the touch. Try to go home at night, say enough is enough, but it ain't anymore. 'Cause I want you so bad. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls, in a really big way. I want a ring around the finger of your left hand. I want a pillow next to yours in a matching nightstand. I want you. I want you so bad. I want a ring around the finger of your left hand. I want a pillow next to yours in a matching nightstand. I want you. I want you so bad. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls, in a really big way.
Thank you, guys. For you guys listening on the radio, you missed the most adorable baby dancer right in front of the stage. This next song is called Learn to Fall. It's available on iTunes. Tonight we're passing it out for free. If you like it, go over and see the merch table over there. When I hear you sing songs that I wrote, I get a little lump down in my throat. I can see the corners that I shaved when I see you walking down the roads that I paved. We all live our lives and make our mistakes, taking for granted all the choices we made. When we were young and out of control, we never listened because they were old. Now that we're grown and out on our own, wish you would have paid attention to all we've been shown. And we learn to fall with our backs against the wall. You don't have to be by the phone just to get that call. You don't have to be by the phone just to get that call. So you better watch what you do, cause it's all coming right back to you. We spend our days making the beds that we lay in, always working when we should have been playing. Yeah, tighten your boots, strap on your belt. Don't start crying about the hand you've been dealt. You get what you got, and though it ain't much, all you've been given is always enough. Stand tall.
Thank you very much. We're Daphne and the Mystery Machines, and we're running an Indiegogo campaign right now, trying to make our first record. So if you'd like to go to Facebook and see us and like us and check us out, you can see how you can help us make that first record. Pre-purchase, donate, whatever you'd like to do. This next song is called Boom Boom. Two didn't see you coming, 3, 4 didn't have a chance. Like a thief in the night, you crept right through my door. You scaled on my walls just to leave me wanting more. Boom, boom, why you made me so crazy? Boom, boom, why you made me so crazy? There's an ache in my veins and I'm dying for your touch. Just a taste of your skin now, baby, I don't need my eyes. 5, 6, you're making my blood race. 7, 8, you're making my body go. Oh, 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 oh. You melt in my mouth, I feel you in my eyes. So boom, boom, why you made me so crazy? Boom, boom, why you made me so crazy? There's an ache in my veins and I'm dying for your touch. Ooh, just a taste of your skin, baby, don't you mind? Why you make me so? Why you make me so? Why you make me so? Why you go and make me so? Why you 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 go and make me so? Why you make me so? Oh, oh, why you make me so? Oh, boom, boom, why you made me so crazy? Boom, boom, why you made me so crazy?
Did a little bit too much dancing backstage during the Valentines set.
I'm saying.
This next song's called Resurrection. This is a song about love and loyalty. my tongue since my inception. Whoa, whoa.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We're Daphne and the Mystery Machines. We have one more song for you guys. This is Jen Palmer. She's going to be the lead singer on this song. She's one of the writers in the band. Adam Taylor just shredding it up over there on guitar. Josh Preston, also shredding. Amanda Palmer over here. Jess Perkins on bass. Courtney Blackwell on cello.
This is what you wanted. This is what you get. This love is empty-hearted. This soul is laid to all is wrong and I feel alright. drawn, I feel alright. Blood, it's drawn, I feel alright. Gone, gone, gone. I'm gone, gone, gone. This is not my home. I'm gone, gone, gone. Oh, oh, oh,
Thank you so much, Music City Roots.
Daphne and the Mystery Machines. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Daphne and the Mystery Machines, everybody. Keith, that's what I'm talking about.
That's
right
good
there.
stuff. I like that. Like that
This
very
young
much.
man, Jesse Perkins, this is my friend Al Perkins, the famous, great Al Perkins, the steel player who's here somewhere, and I know how proud he is of Jesse. Let's give them a big hand. Jesse, that's great. I was telling Jesse I hadn't seen him since before he could shave. Keith,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Folks, I want to turn things over to a great elocutionist, Mr. Keith Bilbrey.
Elocutions. Where's my smartphone? I got to look that up. I have a guy like that in the audience tonight, too. Casey Campbell. You know Casey.
I sure do.
I mean, I've known that kid since he was born. And now he's an adult, and I'm feeling really, really old. But Casey, it's good to have you.
He's a great player, I'll tell you what. We did a
Anything.
gig together, several gigs this
Yeah.
year, and I love playing with him.
Absolutely. You're listening to Hippie Radio, Nashville, Bellevue, 94.5 on your FM dial, Nashville's peace, love, and rock and roll station. Now looking for Nashville's coolest new unsigned band or songwriter. Stay tuned to Hippie to learn more about the Nashville Handshake. Or just ask Jim Lauderdale. He can tell you. Have a handful of high-rate credit cards. Transfer those balances to a low-rate Visa from Ascend Federal Credit Union and pay off your debt quicker. Make your transfer now through March 31st and automatically be entered for a chance to have your entire Ascend Visa balance paid. How about that? All Ascend Visas feature no annual fee, no balance transfer fee, no fee for cash advances, and great low annual percentage rates. Apply online at ascendfcu.org in person or at your nearest Ascend Financial Center or call 800-342-3086. A 1% foreign transaction fee applies. Your annual percentage rate will be based on your credit score. You'll be informed of the APR for which you qualify before you become contractually liable. All loans subject to credit approval. Ascend Visa balance not to exceed $10,000. No purchase necessary to register or win. Registration forms will be available inside Ascend's financial centers now through March 31st, 2015. See official rules in the Financial Center for complete details. Ascend is federally insured by the NCUA, and membership is limited. Allie, are you here? We've got a drawing for a $25 prepaid Visa card to a lucky audience member tonight. Don't you wish you were here? You can spend it any way you want, but here's the thought. Go to any Ascend office and join the Nature Conservancy for $25. By the way, stop in your local Ascend office, ask how you can join Ascend, and support the Nature Conservancy for free, and support the great work by our friends at the Tennessee chapter of Nature.org. You ready to draw? Okay, $25 prepaid Visa card. Here we go. Okay, and the winner is Allie Sutton. No, I'm just kidding. Elizabeth Browning. Elizabeth, where are you? Hello, Elizabeth. There's a song about that. Jimmy Fortune, my buddy, wrote that. Elizabeth, are you here? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, go over to Sponsor Village to the Ascend desk, and you'll get your $25 prepaid Visa. Thank you, Allie, very much. Okay. And let's see, where are we now? Oh, we're over to the chat room. Larry's over there. Is Frank Howard there?
Frank Howard is here.
Frank has something to take up with me. He just sent me this paper. Now, Frank, what is this all about?
when we were at 3rd and Lindsay, you remember you saying that Frank allegedly played with Jimi Hendrix?
Did I say allegedly?
Yeah, that's what you said.
I thought I said the only bank executive I know that played with Jimi Hendrix.
No, you said allegedly.
Allegedly, okay.
Well, so I
did.
brought you that. Me and my group is on Jimi Hendrix's anthology that came out in November
Yes, I have a
2011.
copy. Oh, I thought you were bringing me like the disc.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, I'm not going to buy you the disc.
Well, very good. Right here. It is Frank Howard and the Commanders on I'm So Glad.
There you go.
Exactly.
Black and white. There you go. Proof positives.
Told you.
All right. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, alleged in his own time, Frank Howard of the fabulous Valentines. And we also have Matt Gaden, the man who wrote all those great songs on Visual Aid, please. Their new CD, Old School New, available at a merchandise booth near you. And you will hear many of the same songs they heard on the show this evening. And if you're J. Cale fans, Matt Gaden is the man playing that great wah-wah slide solo, a legendary guitar solo, that's all right, thank you, on Crazy Mama. So it's we do have a couple, we have got soul music and American music royalty and an old school gentleman. Thank you. Well, welcome, guys. That was a great set you did.
Thank you.
And so, Mac, how did you approach the Valentines to, like, you basically made a record for, I mean, you wrote an album for them, right?
Paul Easley, who isn't here tonight, is sick, and he came up to me at the Hall of Fame one night after we'd done a performance down there, and it was 10 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, 10 years ago we were celebrating the release of that album, Night Train Nashville, and so he came up to me and he said, "Why don't you get some of those songs out that you were writing for us in the '70s, and let's go in the studio and cut," and that's how it all happened.
Because they sound like classic songs. I mean, we were standing out in the audience and thinking, like, these were hit songs, right? I mean, they're classic soul songs. And what a performance!
Thank you.
I mean, you guys have it down.
Well, Max, still, you know, "Everlasting Love," one of the greatest songs that ever was written, and "She Shot a Hole in My Soul." So when we got with Mac about a year and a half ago to start doing this project, man, he blew me away with the songs that he was bringing in. So it was amazing, and his artistry, his guitar artistry, and his writing it blew me away.
Well, you know, there's certain elements we think of when we think of classic soul music, and obviously it's the singing, it's the harmonies, but there's also the great songs. I mean, a great soul song, you hear country artists recording it, you hear folk artists recording it. You know, a great soul song just crosses every boundary, and then you've got that groove where you just have to move to it. And their set had everything. It was top to bottom.
Well, the music speaks for itself, and it crosses all the genres, because country and R&B, it all intertwines, and so it's about the words. Now, I don't know about the new music and the rap and stuff. I don't want to listen to that. You know.
Well, Nashville's still a song town. I think that's
really
very important, and you see that in all the. You heard that with Daphne and the Mystery Machines. I think the songs are the key to what they're doing. So, did you think when you were a kid doing this music on the street corners that it would be 2015 and you'd be standing on stage singing?
Well, I had actually given it up because me and my brother sing gospel, so I had actually given it up and
became a banker.
Yeah. Well, I became a banker in '77.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah. But I knew that it was something that I wanted to do, and so we recorded. Me and the Commanders recorded for a legendary Horace Allen back in the day. I knew of Mac, but I never did get to meet him back then. But boy, what a joy to meet him now and get to work with him. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, that's, I mean, Horace Allen and John Richburg, John R. They just talk about these guys. They came up in a conversation we were doing earlier today over at Artisans Guitars for National Public TV. PBS out of Ohio was doing an interview, and his harmonica player, his first introduction to the blues, was listening to WLAC.
Yeah, well,
when he was living in East Tennessee.
Well, I got to meet several artists by telephone and going into the office because of Horace Allen. Because late at night, when he was playing, James Brown, Otis Redding, or somebody would call in. I got a new song, play it for me, and everybody knew him and John R. and I mean. Herman Gazar, they knew all these people,
We always talk about, what's wrong with, why isn't modern music the way it used to be, that sort of thing. And maybe one of the reasons is there are no great disc jockeys like there used to be. Between providing the introductions, introducing people to the music.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons. The other thing is that nobody in rhythm and blues most times now don't have an individuality. When you heard Otis Redding, you knew that was Otis Redding. When you heard Sam Cooke, you knew it was Sam Cooke. But now everybody, when Michael Jackson came out, everybody wanted to be Michael Jackson, Usher, and
then Prince.
Prince, yeah.
Every production sounded like Prince. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Well, what's next for the Valentines? You guys got this great record.
Yeah. Well, whatever we're doing, we've got a documentary that's coming out, and Mac has got some things lining up some things for us, and we're going, a bunch of old guys that see us singing, we're going to take it to the hilt.
Amen, amen. And the documentary is shot by Mac's wife Diane. Great photographer.
Great photographer.
And it tells the story that's often forgotten, is that Nashville was really a rhythm and blues town.
Yeah.
Music City is Music City. It's not just country music city, but it's also R&B, soul city.
And some of the people that crossed over, the guy that used to own the stockyard, he managed Joe Tex for a long time.
Well, and look at Hank Cochran, right? One of the great, a lot of the great soul songs written by Hank Cochran, Harlan Howard. I believe Harlan wrote "The Hurting Kind." Is that And it just, is there a better soul song than The Hurting Kind?
Well,
That's a wonderful thing.
I couldn't sit here tonight without mentioning the Country Music Hall of Fame and Kyle and those guys down there, because they did a tremendous job of putting on the Rhythm and Blues Night Train to Nashville. Made a CD that won a Grammy. So I mean, they looked at the whole thing as far as music in Nashville.
That's
and
true.
Michael Gray just headed that thing.
And they're
up,
still pushing the envelope. They're opening up a great new show with Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan, and the Sidemen with them. That'll be a great one.
Yeah,
well, the old clock on the wall was saying that we've got an act about ready to go. In fact, it was green a second ago. But we want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Matt Gaden and Frank Howard of the Valentines. Check out their CDs on the corner there. And now, this.
Our next group has become an institution in American music, keeping Western swing alive and cool for generations, bringing the music of Bob Wills to rock audiences as well as country fans, creating a style and repertoire of their own. Today, Western swing is alive and well, and Bob Wills and Asleep at the Wheel are still the kings. Please welcome, in a very special Music City Roots performance, Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel.
Oh, yeah! Oh, fiddle, Katie. Now listen, everybody from near and far, if you want to know who we are. We're the Texas Playboys from the Lone Star State. And if you like the way we play, listen while we try to say, we're the Texas Playboys from the Lone Star State. And all day long, don't sing this song. If you get this song, you can't go wrong. And how, wear a smile, make things bright, make you happy from morning till night. We're the Texas Playboys from the Lone Star State. Oh, fiddle! Sing our song from coast to coast. We're the Texas Playboys from the Lone Star State. If you like our song, think it's fine, settle right down and drop a line to the Texas Playboys from the Lone Star State. And I declare, we're gonna get it there. And if you have some time to spare somewhere, sometime when we're down your way, we'll drop in and spend the day with the Texas Playboys, KBOO Radio. How y'all doing out there tonight?
Welcome, everybody. That's the Texas Playboys theme from the radio show back in the 30s in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Texas Playboys Bob Wills radio show was a big hit back then, yeah. So we're doing these tunes because we did them on our new CD called Still the King, and that one we did with our good friend, the former Texas Playboy, Leon Roush, 88 years young, and he sang on the record with us and did so. Such a great pleasure to have him. So check that out, and we got a little bit of time to do some numbers. Here's one we did that the young lady to my right, Miss Emily Gimbel on the keyboards, is going to sing. She did it with Carrie Rodriguez on the record, and it's a message to some men. You want to tell them about this, Emily?
A good man is hard to find.
So hard to find, you always get the other kind. Just when you think that he's your pal, you look for him and find him fooling around some other gal. And then you crave, you even crave to see him lying down in his grave. Well, if your man is nice, take every morning, kiss him every night, give him lots of loving, treat him right. 'Cause a good man nowadays is hard to find. Oh, but he's a good man on the
Emily Gimbel right there. Oh, thank you, folks. We had such a great time doing this CD. It involved everybody from Merle Haggard, Willie Nelson, Lyle Lovett, George Strait, the Old Crow Medicine Show, the Avett Brothers. Oh, why don't we do this tune we did with the old Avett Brothers? Good old tune. All of us, Katie, Emily, we're all going to sing The Girl I Left Behind Me. Help us now. I wrote her a letter and I knew better, and I asked her to be my wife. Along came a feller and he hit me in the smeller, and it almost took my life. Oh, that girl, that pretty little girl, the girl I left behind me. Her rosy cheeks and her curly hair, the girl I left behind me. Hey!
Rode ahead to the place she said I was always there, you see. She said I'm true and you get through right back and you will find.
Oh, that girl, that pretty little girl, the girl I left behind me. Her rosy cheeks and her curly hair, the girl I left behind me. Oh! girl, that pretty little girl, the girl I left behind me. Her rosy cheeks and curly hair, the girl I left behind me.
Last night I slept in a sycamore tree with the wind and the rain all around me. Tonight I sleep in my warm feather bed with the girl I left behind.
Oh, that girl, that pretty little girl, the girl I left behind me. Her rosy cheeks and curly hair, the girl I left behind me. Oh, that girl, that pretty little girl, the girl I left behind me. Her rosy cheeks and curly hair, the girl I left behind me. Thank you so much.
For Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel. Thank you so much. It's great to have y'all here. Thank you. That was amazing. And hey, you guys have a big show at the Country Music Hall of Fame, right?
That's right. Friday night at Country Music Hall of Fame in the CMA Theater. We got our good friend Elizabeth Cook coming over to rile things up. And we'll sing a whole bunch of Bob Wills and Asleep at the Wheel songs. And we got some surprise guests because the guests will be very surprised they're there.
Let's hear it again for Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel. Larry, I think you've got some more details about how to get tickets for that show.
Yeah, you can check it out, countrymusichollofame.org, and they've got different ticket packages and a lot of cool stuff. And of course, it's a kind of a homecoming in a lot of ways for Sleep at the Wheel, although Texas is their home. Spend a lot of time in Nashville. And check out the CD they've got for sale over there, and you'll see the different guests they've got. And this being Nashville, I imagine there might be a few guests stopping by at the Country Music Hall of Fame. At the CMA Theater, which if you've never been to, check that out. It's a brand new venue they opened up, and it's a very cool theater. I've seen a few different shows. Everything sounds great there. countrymusichollofame.org, and you can order tickets from the website. So,
how many of you have ever been to the CMA Theater? Yeah, a few of you have. Listen, if you haven't been down there, it is a gorgeous theater, and the acoustics are just perfect. And we invite you to go down there and see Asleep at the Wheel. I could stand a whole lot more of that. I don't know about you, but
yes,
that's good stuff.
I think they might have a dance floor installed for the evening at the CMA Theater there.
Yeah. By the way, we ought to say congratulations to the new inductees. There,
that's right.
Was announced
Just this morning.
The Browns, Jim Ed, Maxine, and Bonnie, and also our good friends, the Oak Ridge Boys. And the great Grady Martin.
The great Grady Martin.
One
Amen.
of the greatest guitar players ever to hit town.
Had Dixieland bands and everything. He did it all.
He did. He really did. Well, a big thanks to French's Shoes and Boots, the official footwear sponsor of Music City Roots, now with 14 stores in Tennessee. If you're in the house tonight, you can see a display of their beautiful bootwear up in Sponsor Village. They have some great-looking boots. Stop in the Franklin location, get a pair of MCR tickets with any purchase, no matter if it's there or one of the many other stores across Tennessee. Trust French's for the best boots and the best prices anywhere. French's Shoes and Boots. Take a look at Music City Boots. That's Boots with a B. MusicCityBoots.com. Now, let's check in with Larry over in the chat room, sponsored by Griffin Technology, making it easier to connect to the music you love. How about it, Larry?
Well, thank you, Keith. Thank you. We were talking about the Country Music Hall of Fame. We have some newer members of our music community here with us tonight. From Daphne and the Mystery Machines, we've got Daphne Culver, and with her, Jen Palmer, co-singer and co-writer in the group. Now, you guys have only been together for a few months in this configuration, right? So
yeah, probably
how did that happen?
7.5, 8 months. Just kind of started rolling. We got our first gig offer was to play the state fair, and they just wanted me to play, and they said, get some players together, and I picked some of my best friends and some of my favorite players, and then another gig offer would come in, and another gig offer would come in, and now we're playing 4 and 5 shows a week. Weren't expecting it.
That's great.
this has been a great honor to be here, unexpected, so we're real happy about that.
Well, you know, it's you're a very new band, but you really have some really well-written songs, and you guys are the people behind. It seems like, again, you really find that with Nashville bands, where the song This Week of Tin Pan South, certainly we're reminded of that. But it all starts with the song there.
Absolutely. Yeah, we try to capture the emotion of the song. A lot of our stuff is kind of intense and dark and somber, so we try to bring that up.
Kind of like life, huh?
Yeah, so we try to capture the emotion. We've got string players. We use as many harmonies as we can, so we're extra blessed to have a lot of singers in the band.
So how did you put this group together? Because you've got a lot of diverse people playing up
Absolutely, I do. She's been one of my best friends for several years. Adam Taylor, he was an engineer at Sound Emporium, and that's where I met him, and we became quick friends. Josh Preston used to play in an awesome band called the Mabels, and I was able to pick him up just by chance. And Jess Perkins, he's been a staple. He plays steel and upright.
Yep. Steel like his daddy, who is
Just
the
like his
legendary
dad.
Al Perkins, who is with us here tonight. Al Perkins, one of the great session players, member of some great bands. Yep, absolutely. Steel player, dobro player. And speaking, and we've got legacies. Emily Gimbel, of course, in Asleep at the Wheel. I'm pointing where she was just a few minutes ago. And she's the granddaughter of Johnny Gimbel, the great Texas fiddle player and original member of the Texas Playboys. So it's great to see. I mean, music is, it runs in families. So it's great to see that. So how did you decide? I mean, to be a band is not an easy thing to try to do here in town. Be a new band. It seems to be working out for you, though.
You know, we've been very, very fortunate and blessed in that aspect. I'm really grateful for that. But we've been putting a lot of hard work into it. It doesn't just happen. The sound doesn't just happen overnight. But
And you're doing a lot of different. You say you're playing 4 and 5 shows a week. For folks who want to see like a full night with Daphne and the Mystery Machines, what's some of the places you'll be able to be seen?
If you're listening out of Nashville, April 12th, we're going to be at 3rd and Lindsley. On Sunday night, April 12th, with Ben Miller Band for Lightning 100. If you're listening here out of Franklin, Friday night, we're going to be in Columbia at Venue 10. Saturday night, we're going to be in Nashville at East Nashville at the building.
And you're working on, there's a charity fundraiser I think you're working on?
Yes, you can pre-order the album. It's on Indiegogo.com. You can pre-order the album, give us perks. We're trying to do a fundraiser to make our first album. It's hoping to be released this summer. Like I said, we're giving away the single that we've already recorded for free tonight. Anybody that's in here in the audience
So you're
can
giving
have
away
one.
music, did you say?
Just giving it away. You can donate if you want, of course.
And that would be at the merch table. You've got a setup with T-shirts and things over there.
Yes.
Well, that is great. So as you can see that we're getting ready now. So I want to thank you guys again, Daphne Culver and Jen Palmer from Daphne and the Mystery Machines. Let's hear them for them one more time, folks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And now, Jim.
I'm sorry, you scared me.
How you been,
Larry? There's no way to describe the excitement in the bluegrass world at the news of this band's reunion. One of the best groups bluegrass has ever seen, and I mean going all the way back to Bill and Lester and Earl. This quartet has it all. A banjo player whose encyclopedic knowledge of the music's history earned him the nickname Dr. Banjo. A master multi-instrumentalist and singer who also happens to be a Grammy-winning songwriter, a rock-solid bassist, producer, and environmental activist, and they have the premier flat picker of his generation. Please welcome one of the most overqualified bands ever to take the Music City Roots stage, Hot Rize.
love is gone tonight. Blue as I can be. I'm all alone. I used to call you on the telephone. When I used to call and it made you glad, now I call, it makes you mad tonight. I'm all alone. Tonight all by myself. Since you put me on the shelf, well, there's just one thing you should know. You're gonna reap just what you sow tonight. All by myself tonight. All by myself. Thank you very much. There's a young man I was riding out on the western plain in the state of North Dakota. Well, I met my Nellie Kane. I met my Nellie Kane. She was living in a lonely cabin with a son by another man. 5 years she had waited for him, as long as a woman can. As long as a woman can. I don't know what changed my mind till then. I was a rambling kind of love I can't explain that I have for Nellie Kane. She took me on to work that day to help till the land. In the afternoon we planted seeds, in the evening we held hands. In the evening we held hands. The blue eyes told me everything a man could want to know. It was then I realized that I would never go. I would never go. I don't know what changed my mind till then. I was a rambling kind of love I can't explain that I had for Nellie Kane. Now many years have gone by and the son has grown up tall. I became a father to him. She became my all. She became my all. I don't know what changed my mind till then. I was a rambling kind of love I can't explain that I had for Nellie Kane. That I had for Nellie Kane.
Thank you, everybody. We are so glad to be here. Everybody tuning in, listening, viewing later on, we're also glad to be here. I want to just take a quick second and see how many of you are seeing Hot Rize for the first time tonight. Never seen us before. Tonight's the first time. That's a pretty good bunch of you. So let me just quickly tell you who's in the band. Jim gave us a good introduction before, but I'll reiterate it because I know most of you sometimes don't pay attention to the MCs. So with the banjo, Dr. Banjo himself, Pete Wernick, with the banjo. With the guitar from Asheville, North Carolina, Brian Sutton. With the mandolin and fiddle, Tim O'Brien. My name is Nick Forrester. We're the Hot Rize Band. And the real big news is that after 25 years of, I would say, I can't say dormancy because we've all been busy, but after a long spell where we didn't actually make any new records, we just made a new record. It came out a few months ago, and we're going to play some songs from that right now. And it turns out we still know how, and it worked out okay. So we got a record full of songs that are mostly original songs, and including this next one. This is sort of like the title song. This is one called Western Skies.
Cold and gray just to wear me down. Day after day in this hard luck town. Can't keep a dollar, can't make a friend. I don't believe I'll be content again till I see those western skies. Sunshine on the open plain. Blue sky across the mountain range. When I'm free, that's where I'll be. There's a girl who's been on my mind. Precious jewel so hard to find. I said some things that I take back now. Baby, I'll get a second chance somehow. When I see those western skies. Sunshine on the open plain. Blue sky across the mountain range. When I'm free, that's where I'll be. Fight my way through another day. Roadblocks at every turn. Nobody even looks my way. Don't know how I'll make me get away. Heavy load weighing on my back as I walk along these rusty tracks. I sit alone out on the pier, marking time till I get out of here. And I see those western skies. Sunshine on the open plain. Blue sky across the mountain range. When I'm free, that's where I'll be. When I'm free, that's where I'll be.
Thank you. This band started in 1978. So coming up in May, it's going to mark 37 years of this iteration of Hot Rize. And we just feel like we're just getting started. We're late bloomers. We all had busy childhoods, and health is good. I think we're just kind of getting started. So we're going to make many more records, and we're actually going to have a very busy season. So you can be out there, keep an eye out for Hot Rize this summer. This is every record we've ever done has had a Dr. Banjo instrumental. And Pete is not only Dr. Banjo because he knows a lot about bluegrass, he's Dr. Banjo because he has a PhD from an Ivy League school. He has been to college more than the rest of us combined, and we all get paid the same. So when you're planning college with your kids, you can think about that. Anyway, here's a Dr. Banjo instrumental. It's got all kinds of unusual chords in it. It's one called Skyrider.
You were on my mind this morning, you were on my mind today. We had our good times together, we sure had our special way. I guess those happy days are gone now, just like water through my hand. Wonder if I'll ever see you, ever kiss your lips again. Singing some old lonesome song like this, you know I'm not over you and I am longing for your kiss. Wish that I could linger longer, sit down in some evening shade, but you know I had to ramble, guess that's the way I'm made. You were on my mind this morning, you were on my mind today. We had our good time together, we sure had a special way. Well, I was doing good and I was flush and I was fancy fine. Well, I threw it all away on women, whiskey, cards, dice, and wine. I will roll and I would tumble, I will rise and fall again. Rise soon be on my way. The lame would get up, start to walking, and the blind would somehow see. If ever I forgot about you, all the things you meant to me. You were on my mind this morning, you were on my mind today. We had our good times together, we sure had our special way.
Thank you, everybody. We've got time for one more song. I know some of you might have been expecting to see Red Knuckles and his band, the Trailblazers, but they're not here with us tonight. But you can keep an eye out for them at some other time in the future. Meanwhile, we're just, again, so happy to be a part of this program. Great bunch of music. And it's good for us to be back in this part of the country and get to visit with some old friends, especially like Jim, who's, you know, getting older, but he's an old friend. I just mean that he's an old friend. We've known him a long time, not that he's that old. I want to also just thank the staff and crew here for doing this, a nice job putting on this whole event and turning it into a way for folks to share it all over the country. It's not as easy as it looks, but the moonshine helps. We're going to leave you with one more song from our new record. This is one about, you know, that sort of childish habit where kids just are stubborn enough to not do what their parents say they want them to do, so kids just won't do it just on principle. Well, this is about when that bad habit gets carried into romance. Doesn't work out so well. It's called Doggone. I won't do it even though I could. I won't do it just because I should. I won't do it if it's my turn. I won't do it and I'll never learn, 'cause I'm doggone. I won't change my way. I'm doggone. No matter what you say, it's up to me. So just let me be. I know that you might be right. I don't care if it causes a fight. It might be the best thing to do. I won't do it 'cause you told me to. Yeah, I'm doggone. I won't change my way. I'm doggone. No matter what you say, it's up to me. So just let me be. Make me do what you say. You can't make me see it your way. You can't make me be just like you. You can't make me 'cause I don't want to, 'cause I'm doggone. I won't change my ways. Yeah, I'm doggone. No matter what you say, it's up to me. Honey, let me be. Baby, where you going to? I count on coming home to you. I never thought that you'd walk away. I never thought that I'd hear you say that I'm doggone. I won't change my ways. You said I'm doggone as you walked away. Yeah, I'm doggone. I won't change my ways. Yeah, I'm doggone. No matter what you say, it's up to me. Just let me be. Thanks, everybody.
Now that's what I'm talking about, hot Rize. Y'all put the scald on it out there. Hot Rize. Yeah. Woo. I'll tell you what. Yeah.
A scald indeed.
They put the scald on it.
That's good stuff. Enjoyed that.
I did too. Keith Bilbrey, ladies and gentlemen.
Ah, thank you. Is this on? Yeah. Are we on? Yeah. You're listening to Hippie Radio, Nashville, Bellevue, 94.5 on your FM dial. Nashville's peace, love, and rock and roll station. Join Hippie Radio downtown at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum this Saturday to celebrate the opening of the major new exhibit, Dylan Cash and the Nashville Cats. A new Music City. That is going to be quite an exhibit. I can't wait to see that. And matter of fact, on Roots Radio last night, John Walker did a wonderful job of exposing some of the music that was made back during that era. It was a fascinating era in Nashville. Speaking of fascinating, Larry Nager, what have you got for us?
I've got a couple fascinating gentlemen with me this evening, and may I say you look marvelous, genuinely.
Why, thank you.
And you sound...
as you do, too.
Well, thank you. But... in fact, I was getting texts from friends that were watching online, and basically, damn, they sound good was the universal response. You guys haven't missed a lick. It's great.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Larry. And I think, Tim's a great singer, and he's been at this a long time, and we've been playing a long time. We've all been busy. We've all kept busy. And coming back together, it just sounds like Hot Rize.
Was it exciting for you to make that noise again?
Yeah, it's great. We have to work out to get those muscles in shape to do it again. It took us a while to get the new material and all that stuff and get it kind of under our fingers, and now we're out and doing it again. It's great. Really good.
I mean, you were probably performing almost more than almost any of the other guys with the solo thing you were doing, but it was a different thing. It's a different thing.
Solo career is a lot different stuff. Kind of eclectic, goes every which way. But everybody's been playing. Nick's very busy with the E-Town radio show and playing with all the guests and hosting as well. And Pete's been teaching banjo and playing banjo with his wife Joan and other groups and stuff. And Brian's in the studio all the time. But it's great to get back as a foursome.
And well, what a great choice, I think, for the fourth member. And it's been a while since you've been working with him, but Brian's just perfect for that.
Yeah, he's our new member. He's only been with us about 12 years.
Yeah, well, but one of the things is, I think this is a different year for Hot Rize. This is first new product in over 20 years, and you're out on the road hitting it very hard. You're not doing the solo stuff at this point for this year, right?
We all made a commitment, knowing we had a new record coming, that for at least 12 months, once the record came out, we were going to make room for Hot Rize. We didn't know what that meant exactly. We got a new agent, we got a new manager, we put the word out and let it be known that we were going to be available, and it turns out we have a very full calendar, lots of interest, lots of festivals. We're lucky to get to play all over the place, going to Europe in the summer, and it's as busy as we could possibly have hoped. And it's great to have new material to go out there to play for everybody.
Absolutely. And one of the great things, too, is we are going to see the return of Red Knuckles and the Trailblazers.
I don't know if that's so great, Larry, but I think it's going to happen. It's inevitable. The Trailblazers are going to be with us. They're going to be out there. They were in Nashville yesterday doing some recording of their own. They did, I think they're working on some surf music or something like that.
Those guys are getting kind of sneaky, Larry. We used to be in charge of them. They didn't really know where to go. Now they're booked on their own at festivals, headlining, and they're doing their own record. I hope we can keep them around, I guess.
It's a little like artificial intelligence. It starts to just take over. And
artificial something.
But actually, I'm a big Red Knuckles. I'm an unapologetic, if I can say the word, an unapologetic Red Knuckles fan. I think that has been a band that's been very influential. I think probably Red Knuckles could sue Dwight Yoakam on some of his material and do a Pharrell kind of blurred lines thing and win a big deal. As a matter of fact.
Well, do you have Dwight's number?
We'll find that. We'll find that attorney for you. But there is going to be there will be a Red Knuckles project coming out. Is that the thing? Or
I don't know how
Rocky Grass. Right?
I don't know
That's
how
the big
organized
news.
those guys are, to tell you the truth. But they did somehow manage to squirrel away a headlining gig at Rocky Grass, which we're not very happy about. But they're playing. They're closing out the whole festival, and they're not even bluegrass.
Did they get new management too?
I don't think so. But just sometimes when you're old. And they're a lot older. They just think things just sort of, people out of pity or whatever. I don't know. They're getting some attention.
I think you'll be shocked at the response they get.
Well, that's always been a little bit of a challenge for us to just, live with the Trailblazers and work with the fact that our fans seem to enjoy them as well.
Now you've become kind of famous with E-Town since, the hiatus with Hot Rize, and that's been such an important part, I think, of people's radio habits, it seems like.
Thanks, Larry. Yeah, it's 24 years next month of E-Town, and we're carried on a lot of stations. And been lucky enough to have most of the artists. We share a lot of the artists with this program and others, and it's been going on for a long time. We've got our own facility in Boulder now, so yeah, it's been good.
That's great, and that's where you been doing a lot of your own the Hot Rize recording.
We
there,
did
too.
record the Hot Rize record at the E-Town Studios, and the price is right, but it's actually also a nice room. And Colorado is really part of Hot Rize's DNA.
Yeah. Well, when you guys were playing, I was watching. I was thinking, where's the only place you can actually see these guys on regular broadcast TV? And I was thinking, since we have all these PBS programmers here tonight, it's public television. I don't want you to send in your money or anything, but I will do a heartfelt testimonial. I think things like E-Town and public TV still are such a vital part of our lives. They're still bringing us music that is not paid for by the corporations. It's real music by real people for real people, and to have that opportunity is very rare. So I want to thank you guys, all you
thanks
PBS
to
people
PBS
and NPR. Thank you. Give yourselves a big hand. We need more of that. So was there? What were the discussions kind of before you launched Hot Rize, 2.0 kind of thing? Because I know you've been around and all, but this is kind of a real serious year for you.
Well, yeah, it was a big project to launch it. First of all, to find the songs to record that we really believed in, and the key to that was co-writing a little bit and kind of doing, getting the songs, basically
you
doing
got a
it
Los
together.
Lobos song on the record.
Yeah,
You
we got a Los
Mark
Lobos
Knopfler
song and a
record?
Mark Knopfler, but then we have our, co-writes between us and some other things, and so and some traditional songs. But then you do that, and then all of a sudden you're fired up to go and play, and that was the idea. We wanted to reweave the band and get the enthusiasm going among us. And then with the record out, then all of a sudden we're on the road. So I don't know. It was great. It was hard. It was like a calendar problem. We had 4 different calendars, and they're really busy. So we had to look months and months ahead of time to grab a couple days here and there.
Well, it is. I mean, you are like the Jim said, the most overqualified band to play the stage. I mean, just what Brian does as far as session work and production work. That United and Divided record he was part of. That was a beautiful record.
Yeah, he's really an asset to the greater community, and we're really, really lucky and fortunate to have him as a part of our team. He's really helped a lot. He wrote a lovely song for our record and co-wrote some other things. It's been great.
And of course, Nick and I were kind of commiserating because I used to play electric bass, although I played upright primarily, but I used to play electric bass with the Alan Lilly Band. And we were saying sometimes the traditional bluegrass folks can look down on the upright. And back in the 80s and late 70s, they sort of looked down on it. But now nobody plays electric bass in bluegrass bands anymore.
Well, you guys can watch each other's backs.
That's right. The Precision Brothers, I guess.
I think it really, I think it ended up for both of us being more about the music than the instrument.
Oh, that's
and
it.
If the approach was right and we were, striving for a good tone and figuring out ways to support the song, then people could look the other way. And you're absolutely right, though. Now the pendulum has swung back and acoustic bass is back in a big way, and it's certainly part of bluegrass. But this just turns out to be what Hot Rize sounds like.
Well, but the great news is Hot Rize is back, and we'll see Red Knuckles this summer. So it's 2015 looks great. Really, welcome back, guys. I know you were probably building an audience even while you were gone. So it's the love you saw in the crowd. I think tonight was pretty impressive. So
thanks, Larry. Thanks. It's
thanks
a
for being
treat
here.
for us to be on the show, and it's a treat for us to be back out in traffic. So
all righty, good to see you.
Yeah.
They're coming soon to a town near you, folks. Don't miss Hot Rize. Thanks, guys.
In the great alt-rock scare of the 90s, the secret weapon was the Southern bands. With a little of Hank Williams' Moanin' Blues tossed into the Skynyrd and Zeppelin mix, and great songs from frontman Kevin Kinney, this Georgia group burned up the road playing college towns and beer joints all over the South and Midwest. They're back with us tonight with special guest Warner Hodges of Jason and the Scorchers. Please give a warm Music City Roots welcome to Drivin' and Cryin.
Talk about a hard act to follow. That's a tough act to follow anymore.
They could play.
had a lot of dreams, most came true. I sing a lot of songs, most for you. I drank a lot of whiskey, most was free. I broke a lot of hearts, most of mine. I left a lot of yesterdays hang on the stage. You can hear them in the morning being swept away. I kissed a lot of rings. Do I get one too? To make some room for tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. I could do that. This isn't what I thought or what I planned. It looks so different here from where we stand. I made a lot of promises, most I kept, but I left some room for tomorrow. We're not finished yet.
You know, I like the fact that I get to sleep in my bed tonight.
I was young and in the mood. There's nothing I couldn't do. That isn't true, but here's a clue. I never got in my way. Looking back at something following me. It looks a lot like sympathy. It looks a lot like pity. It's time to turn this around. It's time to turn this around. I was stoned and drunk again, walking home at 3 a.m. I heard the clicking on the stones. It's time to turn this around. Hey, brother, can you spare a ride? I looked her straight down in the eye. He just turned and walked away. Even he don't want me now. Even he don't want me now. Turn, turn, turn on it down, baby, simply make it alright. Turn, turn, turn yourself in, let yourself go and let the light in. Feeling old and in the way. If it is one, it is 1,000 things. I can't take this anymore. It's time to turn it in. But hey, brother, don't you see the signs? Let's give this one more ride. I put the gas back in the van. Come on, let's hit the road. Give it one more go. Turn, turn, turn on it down. Let yourself leave and make it alright. Turn, turn, turn yourself in. Let yourself go and let the light in. I was young and in the mood. There's nothing I couldn't do. That isn't true, but here's a clue. I never got in my way. I never got in my way. Turn, turn, turn on a dime. Let yourself live and make it alright. Turn, turn, turn yourself in. Let yourself go and let the light in. Turn, turn, turn on your love. Never find a people that rise above. Turn, turn, turn on your dreams. Let yourself go and let salivated on guitar as well as Turn, turn, turn on the dime, let yourself be, we'll make it alright. Turn, turn, turn yourself in, let yourself go and let yourself win. Turn, turn, turn on your love, help find a be, we'll help rise above. Turn, turn, turn on your dreams, let yourself go and let yourself feel the southern breezes and the southern winds blowing down around this corner, man. D'Agostino's late last night, I saw a boy 15 on the road with nothing in his pocket, his hands in the sky, and nowhere else to roam. Can you see it? Oh, believe it. In this corner, man, where he's never been. Come with me, I'll show you where the dogwoods bloom is true. Lost and found and lost again, to the honeysuckle blue. The river of death indeed. An old hotel serves as a shelter for the children in the streets. Abandoned by this promised land, set sail on your own. How much longer will the well be dry for those who roam? I got a ticket. Was blue, it's true. To the Chattahoochee, to the honeysuckle blue. hard to understand. Far too close to see things through. Once on edge and once removed. Call me to the promised land and run me down by law. I'll run you down and I'll leave you like you all the road alone. It's about time to you to be sad of the sword. Stand by beside the dread, moving out the road. 'Cause I'm not a dreaming, I've got one love, it's ready for the storm. I've got something that no one else knows, and it's all down by law. Get them down by law, and I'm running for you, holding me alone. Lost and found and lost again, to the honeysuckle blues. That just happened. Ladies and gentlemen, Sally Vaden. Sally Vaden, who helped me make all the EPs together with Drivin' and Cryin, Warner Hodges. Jason Scorcher's our guitar player this year. Traveling around with Drivin' and Cryin this year. Jim, Jim wanna
Let's hear it for Drivin' and Cryin. We're going to get set up for the big jam tonight after some announcements. We really appreciate y'all coming tonight. This was a very special night, and y'all have been a wonderful audience. Thanks, everybody from PBS, for coming out. And all of y'all, please come back often. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jim. And speaking of people that care about our environment, thanks to our friends at Nissan World Headquarters right down the street here in Franklin. And how about that beautiful Murano sitting right there? Have you noticed that tonight? Well, if I had the keys, I'd already be out of here. They also make the car that Larry Nager calls the best car he has ever owned, the 100% no-gas Nissan Leaf. How's that working out for you, Larry?
It's still great. In fact, I just realized that gas prices had been coming down, but since I take my car home and I fill it up for $1 every night, I didn't know that.
Now you're getting cute, okay?
But I'll tell you, no, the Leaf is a great car, especially if you love music, and if you're here tonight, I know you do. You'll never hear your stereo system sound better than when you're in a silent, all-electric Nissan Leaf.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I got a neighbor that has one, and he waves at me as I'm standing there at the pump, you know, pouring out that stuff, that liquid gold. Thousands of customers in the United States are saving a lot of money at gas stations, just like Larry is, and enjoying lower maintenance costs. Every new Nissan Leaf in the United States comes from right here in Tennessee. The vehicle and battery plant located in Smyrna, just a short drive from here. Oh, got some folks from Smyrna here tonight. All right. And trust me, you really need to drive one. It's going to shock you, and it has seating for 5, so the whole family can come along. Or in Larry's case, you can take that upright bass he's so fond of. Visit your local Nashville dealer today or see Larry after the show and test drive the 100% electric, no-gas Nissan Leaf. Nissan Nashville proud. By the way, thanks to Griffin Technology for the phone charging station up in Sponsor Village. And Larry, one more time over in the Griffin Technology chat room. How about it?
Well, thank you, Keith. Thank you. This closes out my time substituting for the great Craig Havikhurst, and I say I've had a wonderful time, and I'm really glad he missed this show tonight because I'm very happy to be here. I want to thank all the bands that played. By the way, there was a subliminal message in the bookings tonight, and it has to do with automobile safety. Since we had both Drivin and Cryin, you don't want to do that when you're on the road, and asleep at the wheel. So remember, folks, drive carefully on your way home. So let's give a thank one more time to the Blackstone Brewery lineup. Yeah. Drivin and Cryin. Give them a big hand, folks. Hot Rize. Ray Benson in Asleep at the Wheel. Daphne. Yeah. And the Mystery Machines. The Great Valentines.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to send a special thank you to Warren E. Hodges for showing us what a rock star looks like. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the E is for electrifying.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we're crazy about this. Where's my jam here? My Nashville Jam. Yes, sir. Gary and Courtney Barron has started making their gourmet jams and jellies as gifts for family and friends from the abundance of their own garden. And now, even though it's in stores from New York to Texas, it's still made with that same loving care, handmade, all-natural gourmet jams and jellies from natural fruit flavors like strawberry and blueberry to wild taste like, I've got some right here, peach habanero. Oh, you got to try some of that stuff. How about that garlic and Vidalia onion, available at fine grocers like Publix and Whole Foods? We're proud to introduce you to Nashville Jams. And I want to say congratulations to Lonesome Spelunker, who guessed the name of the secret jam tune in the Music City Roots online chat community. Lonesome is from Vermont. He's been down in a cave all by himself all this time, been watching for 3 years. Join the online community each Wednesday night by visiting www.musiccityroots.com and click the Watch Live Now button in the top right corner. And speaking of our Nashville Jam, we go back to center stage now. A man who's done a wonderful job, as he does every week. He says I never brag on him, but let me tell you what, he is the best Grammy Award-winning songwriter, singer, actor, guitar player. What else you play, Jim? I mean, the man can do it all. Where'd he go? Oh, he's down on the floor, right? Had a little short in the cord there. Look how tiny he looks next to Big Ray Benson. Isn't that wild? Jim Lauderdale, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry, Keith. I thought you were maybe saying something nice, but I knew that I was wrong.
I didn't know you were down there crawling around on the floor. I wouldn't have mentioned it, didn't it?
2, 3, 4.
Whoa, yeah! Hey, there goes one.
2, 3, 4.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you guys talk some more? We're setting things up still. Keith, as we say, as I've said, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Stretch it out while we're getting set up.
No, I like to hear you squirm, watch you squirm. That's one of my favorite things in the whole world. Frank Howard, who has recorded with Jimi Hendrix right there, huh? Yeah, he has. Are you ready now?
They say everything can be replaced, yet every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
Oh, yeah. They say every man needs protection. Yes, they do. They say that every man must fall. Still, I swear I see my reflection somewhere so high above the wall. Let me hear you say it now.
I see my light come shining from the west down to the east.
Oh, yes, I do.
Any day now, any day now, I shall be
Standing next to me in this lonely crowd is a man who swears he's not to blame.
all day long. I hear him shouting so loud, just crying out that he was framed. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
Oh, yeah.
Every man needs protection. They say every man must fall. I swear I see my own reflection somewhere high above the wall. I see my light come shining from the west down to the east.
Thank y'all so much. What a wonderful show tonight.
What a night here at Music City Roots. Production of Hang Dye Media. Executive producers John Walker and Todd Mayo would like to thank Justin Harvey and all our PBS friends for being with us tonight. And, of course, a big thanks to all our friends at Hippie Radio. Don't forget to listen to the Roots Radio Hour tomorrow night and every weekday except 7 p.m. Well, of course, Wednesdays, of course, where we'll explore the roots of Americana and rock and fun for all ages. By the way, Richard Courtney will be our special guest host tomorrow night with a couple of guys from Liverpool. And Richard is the man when it comes to the Beatles and Liverpool and all that stuff. So it should be a great show. Hippie Radio 94.5 on your FM dial. We're glad you joined us this week for Music City Roots, live from the factory. I'm Keith Bilbrey, and from the edge of Music City, good night.